We're going to go ahead and get started. We're starting today in quadruped. So come on over with me. Come with those hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, toes are tucked under. And we're going to start shifting forward and back. So reaching our sits bones towards our heels, feeling that stretch through the bottom of the foot. And then sliding forward, the shoulders come over the fingers, allowing our forearm to get a little stretch there. Go ahead and continue that. I'll get some music playing up here. Use your breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let it be simple. And let it be energizing. One more time, the hips come back. And then we slide those shoulders forward. From here, begin to move into your pelvic mobility. So we're scooping the pelvis under, then reaching our sits bones back behind us. Remember, this is isolated here to our lower lumbar spine. So we're not moving through that entire back. We're just letting our pelvis reach back and then scoop under. Feel those abdominals starting to activate. Pressing our hands into the mat. Curl the pelvis under. We'll do two more. Reach the sits bones back. Curl the pelvis under. Now let the entire spine round to the ceiling. The shoulders come away from one another. And then we drop the belly through, moving through cat and cow. Rounding the spine, big inhale. Exhale, the belly falls to the mat. Allowing our eye gaze to look towards the baseboards in front of us, and then draw the eye gaze towards your belly button. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. One more time. From here, we let the spine come into our neutral position. The right leg slides back behind us. Hips remain in that squared up position with the floor. Begin to lift and lower that right foot, pressing the floor away. Eyes are looking towards our fingertips. We lift the right leg, feel the glute activate, and then tap the toes down. Coming up and down, two more. Last one. Now hold that leg lifted. Can we reach the left arm forward? Perhaps we can. If not, we can keep that left hand connected with the mat. Otherwise, move into this balance and stability position. Keep it stable. From here, that left hand comes down to the mat. We slide the right knee back down and then take the left leg back behind us. Activating through the glute, we lift and lower. Great job of keeping those hips squared towards the floor. Shoulders are facing down. They're right over our wrists. Let the spine get longer. Let the belly activate. Two more leg lifts. On this last one, hold that leg lifted. Take your time. Try sliding the right arm in front of you. Stabilize through the core. Keep that balance. Another breath. And release the right arm. The left leg comes down. Once again, we shift back and shift forward. Toes are still tucked under if that feels right for us. One more time, the hips shift back. The hips shift forward. Now come into your quadruped position. Press the floor away and let the knees hover above the mat. Oh yes, our core is starting to turn on and activate for today. Release the knees. We'll do that two more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, press the floor away. Hover those knees above the mat. And release one more time. Pressing up. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Immediately sending our hips to the ceiling. We come into down dog. Our first stretch for those hamstrings of the day. Heels releasing to the mat. Feel free to pedal out through those knees if that feels right for us. Alternating knee bends. And from here, we shift into our first plank of the day. Options for planks. We come all the way forward into a full plank, or we can drop the knees to the floor below us. Find what works for you. 3, 2, 1. Toes together, knees come apart, and we slide back into our rest pose. Roll out those wrists. Give your fingers a little break here. Wiggle them around. Let your belly reach towards the floor below. Find a big inhale. As we exhale, let's slowly stack the spine back up over the hips. We'll bring the feet around and come onto our bottoms. As we shift to those bottoms, hands come behind our hamstrings, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, round the spine back, curl the pelvis under. We do that one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhaling, we round. Good. Staying here. Lower down to the mat, bone by bone by bone. Good. Hands coming up and overhead for that inhale. Exhale, pull the hands to your sides. Starting to get some range of motion through the shoulders. Big reach overhead. Exhale, bring it down. 2. And one more time, arms overhead. As we exhale, lift the head and shoulder blades off of the mat. Coming back down, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, nod the chin forward as if saying yes. And release. Invite that core activation into your practice today. Last one. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, hover the shoulder blades above the mat. Staying here for hundreds. We pump those arms, quick and vigorous pumps. We inhale through the nose for a count of 5 and exhale for a count of 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. We call this hundreds for a reason. We're going all the way to 100. You're almost halfway there. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Option, stack those knees over the hips, or perhaps you can even take those toes out to 45 degrees. What feels right for your core today? What feels right for your shoulders? What feels right for your breath? You get to choose. 2 more times. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more inhale through the nose. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. The knees fall into the chest. Rock the knees from side to side. Get that massage at the low back. From here, we place the feet back to the mat. Hands come out wide to a figure T. Stack the right knee over the right hip. And then let that left knee follow. From here, we go into bridge marching, tapping the right toe down and lifting it back up. Left toe taps the floor and comes back up. So we're hinging at the hips. We're actively taking the toe out and away from our body, then drawing it back in with our core. So much more difficult than just bending that knee and tapping the toes down. That would be so nice, right? It'd be so nice on our core just to do that. But we're keeping this 90-degree angle at our knee and actively reaching the toe out. Pull it back in. You're going to feel so much more in your core, which really helps us work on our balance, our stability, and of course, building in that core strength that we really want over time. Last one, tap the toe out. Send it back in, holding it here. Hold it with those knees stacked for 3, 2, 1. Take the right foot down. Let the left foot follow. Sway the knees from side to side, releasing through the hips and the low back. From here, we go into our roll-ups. As soon as you're ready, lengthen those legs out in front of you. Hands come over the chest. We take a big inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, check the chin, roll it up bone by bone by bone, fold it over, big reach, and release down 1 vertebra at a time. Big inhale, And exhale, lift up and up and up. Can we reach for those toes? All right, friends, let your goal be to keep your heels down on the floor. If we start to feel those heels coming up, I ask you to just try bringing one of those knees into the chest and reaching over. Lower down the same way. Inhale and exhale, roll it up and over. Reach and release down, slow and controlled. We'll do 2 more. Working to keep those heels glued to the mat. Last one. Hold it over the thighs. Let the chest fall forward. Big inhale. And exhale, come on up. All right, hands come to our shoulders. We're gonna rotate in one direction and then rotate to the other side. Keep those sits bones glued to the mat. Stay tall through the spine. Can we relax those shoulders away from the ears? Sit up taller. Take it to the left. Bring it to the right. Now try taking those hands out wide. Rotate. And come center. Rotate other side. And come center one more time. This is just our preparation for saw, which we're going to do later today. Last one, rotate and center. Yeah, right? Why do you need preparation for that? Roll it down. That's a good question, Roger. Because rotation is so hard. I forget how little rotation I do throughout the day sometimes. And practicing is kind of nice. All right, moving into our leg circles, hands right by our sides. Elevate the right foot to the ceiling. Start with your small circles, tracing that toe around. Imagining your toe tracing around perhaps a dinner plate size circle or a basketball. One more in this direction and reverse it, taking it out and around. Maybe we're taking these circles slow. Maybe we want them to be a little bit faster. You get to choose. 2 and 1. Hold that leg lifted. Flex the foot. Bring it across the body and up for a bigger circle. Around and up. 2 and 1. Reverse the direction. Take it out, around and up, out, around and up. 2 and 1. The knee falls into the chest. Let the knee slide outside of the body, finding a nice little inner thigh stretch there. All right, bring that knee back into the chest. Let it come all the way across the body as we go into a spinal rotation, perhaps letting our eyes look in the opposite direction. Our goal is to keep both shoulders connected with the mat. Sometimes that's a little hard. So if you're finding it difficult and that shoulder is coming off the mat, that's okay. Just let it be your goal to eventually let that shoulder stay connected and melt into the floor below. Bring both hips down to the mat. Our right leg reaches all the way across the mat. Left leg lengthens to the ceiling. We start with those small circles here. Remember, you decide, do these circles need to be quick or slow today? 3, 2, and 1. Reverse it opposite direction with our small basketball size circle. 4, 3, 2, and 1. That foot flexes. Bring it across the body and all the way to the top, as if circling around the size of a beach ball. We have 2 and 1. Reverse it opposite direction. The leg falls out and comes up, around and up. 2 and 1. Bring the knee to the chest. Slide that leg outside of the knee. Oh yes, sink into your inner thigh stretch there. Big inhale through the nose. As we exhale, let the leg come all the way up and over the body. Find your figure T stretch or your little rotational stretch. Both shoulders pressing into the mat. And in your own time, let the hips come back to the mat. Keep that left knee close. Our hands find our shin bone of that left leg. Head and shoulders nod, lifting up off of the mat. The right leg elevates as well. Single bent leg stretch. We extend and switch, reach and switch. This is our Pilates 5 ab series. We're starting it slow. I give you the option to speed it up. You could keep the knees bent and tap the toes to the floor. Inhale through the nose, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. One more round, inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Both knees fold into the mat, or fold into the chest rather. Double leg stretch, hands and feet reach to the ceiling. Sweep those arms around, let them hug the shin bones towards the belly. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep it around. Option to lower the head and the shoulders to the mat. Reach it out. Pull it in. We do 2 more. Out and away. Draw the knees in. Last one. Hold those knees in tight. When you're ready, send the toes to the ceiling. Let yourselves find your calf muscle or your hamstring with the hands. Lower one leg. This is scissors. We alternate and switch. Good. Remember that option of finding our hands at the hamstring instead of the calf muscle. Our biggest goal here is to make sure that we're not grabbing at our knee, okay? Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Keep it moving for 3, 2. Last one. And both feet come together. Hands behind the base of the skull or down by our sides. Leg lower and leg lift. Take it down 6 inches. Zip it back up. Can you press your inner thighs together? Keep that connection through the toes, through the heels, through the knees, all the way up to your belly button. Last one, lower, lower, and lift. Bend those knees to the chest. Hands come behind the base of the skull. Go ahead and drop your your feet to the floor. All right, we're taking this slow for crisscross. Right shoulder comes up and over to our left knee, twist. Lower down, slow, slow, slow. Reach it up and over, left arm, left shoulder to right knee. Lower down with control. That's your challenge. Come up. Lower down, slow, slow, slow. Up and over, other side. Reach. Take it down slow. One more slow, and then I let you guys take it at your own pace. Bring it down. Up and over. All right, friends, if you like this speed, keep with it. Otherwise, you can go a little bit faster. I'm showing some options up here of where you can go. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees, hug them tight. Great job. From here, we plant those feet to the floor. Hands by our sides. Activate through the glutes and press the hips to the ceiling. Lower it down. Moving into that glute bridge, moving as one single unit. The glutes activate, we lift the hips up and come down. Eyes looking towards the ceiling. Let's keep a little bit of space between the chin and the chest. Keep that space so that we elongate the spine. One more time, hold those hips lifted. Hold it, hold it. Option here, if you like, stay in this double leg bridge rather. You can stay in that double leg bridge, or if you want to come with me, we're taking the right foot to the ceiling. 4 single leg bridges on this side. Up and down. 3, 2, and 1. Bring that right foot down, lift the left leg up, single leg bridges on this side. Otherwise, we're staying with our double leg bridges. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it lifted. Bring that left foot to the ground. The hips release, and we sway the knees from side to side. Good work, you guys. All right, let's roll ourselves up into a seated position. We can use that right leg to lift ourselves up. Legs are out in our L-sit. The arms float forward. We start with the top of the head for spine stretch forward. The forehead reaches towards our knees, and then we stack the spine back up nice and tall. Big inhale. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, stack it back up. So this is very different from just hinging over and reaching for our toes. This is not a hamstring stretch. We're stretching through our multipodi muscles, through our spinal column, taking it really slow as we curl ourselves forward, and then stacking it back up, slow, slow, slow. Big inhale. Exhale, roll it down. This is our last one. Come on up and shake it out. All right, moving into saw. I prefaced this earlier. We are moving right into it. So what we just did, we're gonna keep with. That same roll down where our forehead reaches for the knee. We just add rotation to it. Hands come out to opposite walls. Rotate in one direction, tuck the chin, reach that forehead to the knee, lift it back up, rotate other side. Hand comes outside of the foot, lift up, add the pulse if you would like to. We roll down and pulse for 3, 2, 1, come up tall, rotate, roll down, pulse it 3, 2, 1, 2 more. That means 1 on each side. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Last one, up and over. We reach, 2, 1, lift up nice and tall. And the hands come down, roll out through those shoulders. Come on over onto your sides. Moving into our side lying position. As we lay it down, we can let that arm maintain a little pillow for our head. Feet are forward. Spine is in line with the back of the mat. So we have a little bit of an angle here through the body. Lift up through the side body as if you could thread a piece of paper between the rib cage and the floor. Then we start to lift and lower the top leg. Good. Up and down. Stack your shoulders one on top of the other. And don't forget to do the same thing with your hips. 3, 2, and 1. Hold that leg lifted. Pulse it to the ceiling for 4, 3, 2, 1. The toe points. We circle the leg forward. Brush your inner thighs together as you circle. And reverse it. 2, and 1. That leg stays lifted. Flex the foot forward. Point the toe back. So it's a kick forward and a kick back. We're using this top arm to help us stabilize. Kick forward. Kick back. 2, and 1. Hold that leg back behind you. It's in line with your body. We lower it down and lift it up. Lower and lift. Side body stays lifted for 3, 2, and 1. Release that leg down. Top arm lengthens overhead. Get a big side body stretch there. Good. All right, bring the top leg forward. That knee comes right here in line with our top hip. And it's gonna stay lifted off of the ground, okay? So it's nice and elevated. Bottom leg begins to lift and lower. Good. What's our reasoning for keeping the knee lifted? Does anyone remember? It's so that our spine doesn't go into rotation. As soon as we drop this knee to the floor, our spine gets into all kinds of lovely rotation. And we want to stay nice and neutral. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold that leg lifted, pulse it to the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The toe points, circle it forward. and reverse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Very good. Take those legs one on top of the other. Bend the knees in. Feet come back behind us. So we have a little seated position here. Top knee lifts and presses away. External rotation, bring it back together. So we press the knee away and pull it down. Nice and controlled. Heels and toes stay connected. Out and in. Oh, yay, we have some more people on Zoom. Hello, welcome. You may have joined a moment ago and I just recognized it, but hi, welcome. We're happy to have you. Open and close one more time with that clam. Bring the knees together. Heel is going to lift up. So this is the opposite. We're working on our internal rotation. So as we work on this hip mobility and stability, can we also stabilize through the powerhouse? That's our core. Actively draw your belly button in as if somebody was going to come up and punch you. Get that type of engagement here. Lift and lower. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. Hold it lifted. Keep that internal rotation. 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. All right, we're coming into our favorite side plank. I say favorite because you get to choose your option. Elbow right underneath our shoulder. Knees can stay bent and in front of us, or they can be bent and in line with our spine, or we can go all the way out with our feet stacked or staggered. All right, so you get to choose. Come on up into your side plank. We're here for 25 seconds, so stay lifted through the side body. Your 25 seconds has already started. You've got less than 15 seconds left. Keep that shoulder strong. Stay there, stay there. 5, 4, 3, don't give up yet. 2, and 1. Good, bring it down. As you lift up, go ahead, bring the legs with you. We're gonna do a little break dance as we face the other direction. All the same work, but on the other side. So we like to think of things as even in our Pilates class. All right, laying it down. Feet are in front of us. Top leg lifts and lowers. Remember, that leg lift is only about as high as our top hip bone. It's not super high here. Keep those shoulders and hips stacked on top of the other. We have 3, 2, and 1. Hold that top leg lifted. Pulse it to the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The top toe points and we circle it forward. 3, 2, 1, and reverse it. Let those inner thighs brush together. 3, 2, 1. Hold it lifted. Flex the foot forward, kick forward, point the toe, kick back, flex forward, and kick back. Good. Working on that flexion and extension of the hip, stabilizing through the belly. Keep those hips and shoulders stacked. Last one forward, last one back. Hold the leg behind you. It's in line with your body. Top leg drops and lifts. Yes, so that same movement that we were just doing, it's just now from a different angle. Keep those hips stacked one on top of the other. There you go. Good. 2, and 1. Hold that top leg lifted. Pulse it to the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee forward and give yourselves a little myofascial release. Good. All right, top knee is staying lifted just like we talked about on the other side. Bottom leg lifts and lowers. Same concept. Our shoulders and hips, oh yes, they're still stacked. Our spine is still in neutral. Could we still thread a piece of paper between our rib cage and the floor? If you're like me, my rib cage totally just dropped. So that's our friendly reminder to keep strong through the belly, even though we're working through those legs. 3 more. 2, and 1. Hold that leg lifted. Pulse it to the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The toe points and we circle forward. Good. Let those circles come from the hip. Reverse it. Circle from the hip, not that ankle. 2 and 1. Release. All right. Bend those knees. Let them come in. External rotation. The top knee presses back and away. Toes and heels stay connected throughout this external rotation, or clams as we call it. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Bring it down. Now the knees stay together. We lift the ankles away from one another. So now we've switched into internal rotation of that hip. Our internal rotators, they're very small muscles. Very important that we still work them and strengthen them. That'll help keep our hips nice and strong as we age. 3 more. 2 and 1. Hold it lifted. Good. Now release it down. Come on up. Find your favorite plank variation. Is it with those knees in front of us and bent? Is it with the knees in line with our body? Or perhaps the feet all the way out, stacked or staggered? You get to choose. Come on up into your plank. Remember, 25 seconds here. Stay lifted through the side body. Keep that shoulder over your elbow and let yourself just look forward and breathe. Poor timing on my part that the music just kind of stopped there for you guys. So you'll have to psych yourselves out. Keep those hips lifted. Don't let them drop. Stay strong. Stay strong. And release. Come on down. All right, friends. As we come up, we'll do a little bit of hip mobility. I haven't done this in a while. So if you haven't seen this before and you're thinking, oh, what is she doing? It's called a Z-sit. It's kind of funky to get into. So give yourself some grace. If we have any knee pain or tension, know that you don't have to do this with us today, but this is really, really good for our hip mobility. And if we can start to do a little bit of it, it can be really beneficial in the long run. So what I've done is I've got one leg reaching out in front of me, shin bone also in front of me. I'm taking my other knee to the foot and the other shin bone out towards my side. So I'm looking around in the room and everyone looks good. I hope you guys are able to see this on Zoom. What we're going to do is we're going to take our hands back behind us, kind of opening up through that hip, and we're just going to let our knees sway from one side to the other. If you need to reposition on your mat so that the cushion of your mat kind of lands perfectly on your knees, you totally can. But we're just swaying from side to side. So this is called a Z-sit. We're adding in that internal and external mobility for the hips. We'll do one more on either side. We may notice one hip's a little bit more stiff than the other. I want you to hold into that hip if it is a little bit stiff. So if one side feels less willing to relax into the movement, hold it there for a second. Good. Now come on up. Our hands come outside of our body. So I'll switch so everyone on Zoom can see me. So we're here with that hand outside of our body. Keep your knee connected to the floor. Try to lift your ankle up off of the mat. Release it down. Did anyone else's outer thigh immediately start to cramp up? Me too. Option, come down to your elbow. That creates a little bit more space here. Internal rotation is happening through that hip. So lift that heel up and bring it down. Good. Stay lifted through the chest. It doesn't have to lift super high. And you may notice that over time, you're able to lift that ankle even higher. And right at the beginning, mine wasn't coming up very far. So you just start to ease into it. Do as many as you feel you're able. Don't feel like you have to overdo it. I'm going to give us 2 more opportunities to lift and lower here. From there, lift yourselves back up and let the knees sway from side to side again. Up and over. All right, now hold it on the other side. In opposition, hold it there for a moment. When you're ready, let yourselves reach over to the side. We do the same thing on this side, internal rotation of the hip. Can we bring that heel off the mat? Oh, this side does not want to move. There you go. Yeah. Anyone noticing one side's very different than the other? It's so weird too. Yeah, because I thought my other side was more stiff, but my range of motion on this side is way less. Our bodies are so fun and so weird. Remember, you can always come down to that elbow if you're feeling that cramping sensation. And remember to just do as many as you feel that you want or need to do today. I'm going to give us 2 more opportunities to lift and lower. And release. Very good. All right, come on up. We're going into quadruped. So as we lift back up, we come into that same position that we started with at the beginning of class today. Tuck those toes under. Feel that stretch through the foot. Send your hips back, just like we did at the beginning of class. And shift the hips forward. We're going to do that 2 more times. Shift back. Shift forward. 1 more. As we come up, tuck the toes under and send it back. So we start to pedal through those knees, moving into our final stretches of the day. Thank you all for taking some time at the beginning of class to do, we did a significant amount of quadruped work, and I have a nice little reason for that. Keep pedaling it out. We'll do 2 more pedals through those knees and then reach the right foot to the ceiling, releasing into 3-legged dog. Perhaps even bending that right knee, opening up through the hips here. Big stretch for those hamstrings. Take an inhale. Exhale, slide that right leg all the way forward to that right hand, coming into our pigeon stretch. I'll give you guys an option. If you don't love pigeon, you can do a seated figure 4 stretch with that ankle over your knee, okay? So yeah, we did a lot of quadruped work today. And my reason for that is, well, my daughter is about to start crawling at 5 months. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that until like 7 months. So now I'm like on a mission to go buy all the plugs and all the things so that she doesn't electrocute herself, you know, all those safety things. Anyways, well, I was reading this book and it talks about, you know, mobility through our life, and crawling is one of the very first mobilizers that many of us do in our lives, and how it helps us build strength through our shoulders. And so the book just talked a lot about shoulder stability and how crawling helps with that. And I just thought it was so fascinating. So that's why we did so much quadruped work today, is because I want to protect your shoulders. So, and in honor of my child, who's also, you know, about to, I'm sure, give me lots of heartache, bonking her head on things in the house. It's going to be great. All right, go ahead, press it back into your down dog once again. We'll do that on the other side. Release that left leg to the ceiling. Sink into that stretch for the right hamstring, maybe even bend the left knee and open the hip to the side. In your own time, take that left knee all the way forward into your pigeon stretch, and or come around. Let that left ankle cross over the right knee and hold it there. Yeah, it's interesting. The book also talks about how children are, you know, they're born without kneecaps. And whenever they start to crawl is when they start to develop their kneecaps because of the pressure that their knee takes on. And so your body forms like a protective mechanism there over time because of the pressure. It's just a very fascinating read. And I, off the top of my head, can't tell you what it's called, but it was very interesting. So I'll have to remember what it is. If anyone's interested in it, I'll find it and let you guys know. Keep that chest lifted if you're in your figure 4 seated position. Everyone in your own time, Go ahead and send yourselves back into your final down dog of the day. Press it back. Reach those sits bones to the ceiling. Big inhale. Exhale, let your hands walk themselves towards your feet or vice versa. From here, we'll slowly roll the spine up, one bone at a time. Coming up nice and tall in a nice standing position, roll your shoulders back. As those shoulders roll back, open the chest up. Big inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bring it down. One more time, big breath in. And exhale. All right.